The obstacle was several large round wooden planks stacked on top of each other, presumably to simulate fallen tree trunks. Number 22 seemed to be more cautious going up the hill, but halfway up, the warhorse started to dance. The rear wheel lost grip, the car slid sideways, then suddenly flipped over in an indescribable trajectory. This section of the slope seemed drier but was full of rocks and gravel, and the gradient was steeper. It looked like it would be easy to slide. The white line that marked the track looked fragile. Their Renault 54 did not fare any better than his predecessor. The bike lost control and the front wheel lifted into the air. This time, instead of jumping to the side, he was launched straight into the air with the bike, and together they made an ungraceful free fall down the slope. The scene changes to a dark forest with rocky terrain, steep and narrow. Looks like a natural trap. Similar to his previous colleague, number 8 Teen also had difficulty with some unlucky rocks. The front wheel was blocked again, and this time it was an even more spectacular somersault over the handlebars. Back on the dirt slope, but this time it seemed drier and more rocky. There were some pretty nasty curves. Fogueira's number 186 climbed the hill quite well at the beginning, but the higher he went, the more difficult it became. The car lost traction and slid sideways continuously. Boar number 77 entered the corner, trying to keep his balance on the high bank of the ditch. But it seemed he miscalculated. The front wheel slid into the ditch, pulling both the car and the driver into a sudden backward somersault. Another competition area, with an obstacle of a narrow wooden bridge over a thick mud puddle. This seemed to be the deadly spot. Racer number 14 also could not escape the curse of the bridge. He also slipped and fell into the mud. However, he seemed to be more angry, trying to get his bike up and struggling to get out of the mud, creating a rather humorous mud wrestling scene. The racer is trying to cross the pool. He lifts the front wheel up to the edge of the pool, but perhaps due to slipping or miscalculating the force, obstacle course consisting of large logs placed parallel to sand and rocks. Requires good balance and obstacle crossing skills. An extremely muddy and narrow slope in the forest. trees on both sides, smoke rising from the screaming cars. This is clearly a deadly bottleneck. It was utter chaos. The riders were stuck, one on top of the other, some pushing, some pulling, some trying to rev their engines in vain. Engine smoke and mud were flying everywhere. The guy in the dark brown suit was struggling with his bike like he was lifting a barbell. The guy in 74 was no better. Dirt slope in the forest seems less obstacle, but still slippery. Rider number 110 was trying to climb but lost grip. Looks like it takes skill and luck to get through this section. This racer, number 106, struggled for quite a while trying to find a way up. The bike kept slipping and falling. He had to use all his strength to hold and control the bike. In the end, he still failed. The racer was trying to get over the top of the pile of tires when he lost his balance and fell sideways, falling between the tires. A support person helped him escape. The racer tried to jump over the concrete barrier to get on the tire but miscalculated. The front wheel hit the tire and the car flipped backwards. The dirt slope in the forest. It doesn't seem too steep, but there are many grooves and it's quite narrow. Trees near the track, the guy got stuck under the car and had to ask someone to help pull him out. The racer was going uphill when the front wheel got caught in a rock or ditch. The bike suddenly stopped and the guy flew over the handlebars, landing quite hard. The rocky slope was quite wide but seemed slippery. Racer number 101 was wearing black and yellow clothes and riding a yellow Suzuki. The racer was cornering on the slope when the rear wheel slipped. The bike swung violently and the guy was thrown off the bike. The racer climbed this hill near the top, tried to pass the tire, but the front wheel slipped, the car flipped backwards. The guy jumped out in time and saw the car lying upside down. This 686 racer was even more creative. Not only did he flip over, but also raised his legs up in the air, creating a rather difficult pose among the pile of tires. Another pile of deadly tires. Unknown number, yellow and green stub. Red gas car. Familiar scenario, losing balance on top of the tire and tumbling backwards. Thank you for watching until the end of today's race. If you find this video burning enough, remember to leave a like and comment to let me know what you think. See you on the next roads. Don't forget to subscribe to watch the next video.